Today we're going to be finishing off our Tiefling Barbarian, filling in the rest of the front of this sheet. So top left we have character name, obvious. I'm going to call him Jack. Class, Barbarian, level 1. Background we chose Outlander. Player name would be your name, however I'll put mine because I'm not you. Race, Tiefling. Alignment, are you using alignment? Experience points, are you using experience points, or are you doing milestones where end of each chapter or important thing you just level up? Your XP at this stage is simply 0. When you reach level 2 that'll be 300 experience points, and basically so on. Larger gaps until you get to level 20, so that's 0. Alignments are about your personality, so you've got lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, chaotic evil. I'm rolling a d10, re-rolling 1, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's boring, but neutral is the alignment of those who prefer to steer clear of moral questions and don't take sides. Your armour class starts at 10 with no armour. Barbarians don't wear armour. I didn't get any in my starting equipment, and it's flat base 10 of an unarmoured person plus your dex modifier, AC 12. But you'll see when you wear any of these armours, medium, chain shirt, whatever, it tells you your armour class becomes higher than 10. All the way down to 18. If you have a shield, you get an automatic plus 2 on top of your armour. If I choose to wield a shield, which I am proficient in, you don't add your proficiency bonus. But I do add a 2 from the shield to my armour class, so that would be a 14. But at this current moment I haven't bought a shield and I haven't had one in my starter equipment. Your initiative order is when you're rolling to join the queue in a fight. It is simply your dexterity for how quick you're going to move. When, or I guess if, your dexterity goes higher, we refer to the chart that gave us this. Every even number, so 16 will be plus 3, 18 plus 4, 20 plus 5. Speed is in your Tiefling traits, 30 feet. If you're using a grid, that's 6 squares. Hit dice is in the Barbarian section. So it says hit points at first level, 12 plus your Constitution modifier. It ties in with the hit dice above. A 1d12 is your hit dice. 12 plus my Constitution modifier is 14. So the maximum I can be at level 1 is 14. If I take 4 damage, you're supposed to write your 10 in here because you took 4. You don't rub that out because that is still what you are at full health. However, if you are constantly writing and rubbing, no, there won't be long before there's a big hole there. It's a right mess. I would get any other blank sheet of paper and log it separately. Let's explain hit dice. You have a 1d12 hit die. At level 1, at level 2, 2 hit dice. At level 10, 10 hit dice. It's a d12. At level 3, 3 d12s. But what are they for? So during a short rest, you can roll your hit dice, rather than a long rest where you automatically go up to full, where it takes 8 hours rather than a short rest's 1. You're having a bit of a breather. For every level, 1, 2 and 3, and third level let's say, I can choose to roll these to heal. I roll 1, that's a 3, plus con, that's I heal 5 hit points. If that's not enough, I'll say I'll spend another. So that's 5 we just had, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus your con, 10, 11. You always add your con to every dice. So that's 11. Oh, I'm going to roll some more. 11 up to 21 plus the Constitution. 23 health I've just restored, but they are spent. I won't get any of those back now until a long rest. I get them back. I get them back to spend. So you might have 2 short rests before you get all these back. You might spend 1 of these in the first short rest. And you'll say, well, it's 12 plus my con of 2. That's 14 I heal, but I don't want to spend these 2. You go on adventuring, you take some wax, you have another short rest later. You say, I'm going to spend these 2. That's a 2 and an 8. Plus your cons. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 heals there. But you're out of hit dice again because you've spent them. You need a long rest to get them back. Hi, it's RoboDad editing this video, and I realise we do rests a bit differently in my home game. Let's look at exactly what the rules as written are, and then you can ignore them if you wish. A short rest is a period of downtime at least 1 hour long, during which a character does nothing more strenuous than eating, drinking, reading and tending to wounds. So it's not like you're having a sleep. Don't think that. A character can spend 1 or more hit dice at the end of a short rest, up to a character's maximum number of hit dice, which is equal to the character's level, as we said. For each hit dice spent in this way, the player rolls a die and has a constitution modifier to it. Yes. The player can decide to spend an additional hit dice. As I said, you can spend up to your max, but a character regains some spent hit dice upon finishing a long rest, as explained below. So it's this bit I do different. A long rest is a period of downtime at least 8 hours long, yes, during which a character sleeps for at least 6 hours, fine, and performs no more than 2 hours of light activity, such as reading, talking, eating, standing watch. If the rest is interrupted by a period of strenuous activity, at least 1 hour of walking, fighting, casting spells or similar adventuring activity, the characters must begin the rest again. At the end of the long rest, a character regains all lost hit points, so you go straight up to max. A character also regains spent hit dice, okay, up to a number of dice equal to half of the character's total number of them. So if you are level 8, you only regain 4. That's what I take that as. If you're level 2, you only regain 1. We don't do that in my game. You get all your hit dice back. Oh, it even says we even chose that. The example is it has 8 hit dice. She can only regain 4. A character can't benefit from more than 1 long rest in a 24-hour period. Yes, sometimes your characters try and do that. And a character must have at least 1 hit point at the start of the rest to gain its benefit. It says you only regain half the hit dice. It's a bit of a slog. That makes things pretty damn difficult for me when I'm used to playing with new players. Even though my new players have pretty much been playing for 3 or 4 years with us, I think if I started to say rules as written now, they'd get annoyed. I guess you try what you want to try. If my Barbarian is at 10 health and gets healed for 10, he doesn't go to 20. He maxes out at this 14. You always max out at your max, obviously. But if I am at full, and something, magic item or some other way, allows me temporary hit points, they are bonus hit points. Let's say 10 bonus hit points. You have exceeded your hit point maximum because these are like a spare battery, if you will. The first 10 whacks doesn't alter that, it only alters this down to 0, and then the next injuries start from there. They're literally kind of unrelated. If you fall unconscious at 0 hit points, your next thing is that you need to make a flat d20 roll every time it's your turn. The number you're after is 11 or above. You're looking for 3 successes or 3 fails. So it's my turn, I roll a death save. 18, that is above 11. Second time it's my save, 12, above 11. Now, at any point when it's not your turn, somebody could come over and make you stop having to roll these by healing you or stabilising you at least. So you're still at 0 hit points, but you're not having to die or live. You just are existing until you come around later. Third roll, 4. That's a fail. We're looking for 3 successes or 3 failures to determine whether you live. Because everyone might be busy. That's a 5. Now, one thing I want to note is if I roll a 1, it counts as 2 failures. If I roll a 20, it counts as 2 successes. This dice roll literally makes my Barbarian live or die. He's alive. 3 successes, then you can rub them out because you're alive. Live to fight another day. Again, I would probably do it on a separate sheet, personally. Nearly done now. Inspiration. Now this is something that the Dungeon Master gives you from playing your character correctly, like you actually built it. Or if you've done something, whatever, anything that he deems well done, he will give you an inspiration. Rules as written, you can only ever have 1. And you do whatever you feel in that box. And an inspiration means that when you roll poorly on any d20 roll, you can spend that 1 token to roll your d20 again. Attack, saving throw, whatever the DM allows, death save. And as far as I'm aware, you're allowed to pass this inspiration reroll to any other player at any time that you have it. So that is really a team token that you've got yourself awarded there. One of my little niggles about this character building is that I know you've got an equipment bit at the bottom, but there's no obvious place to say what you are actually wearing armour-wise. Now, a barbarian doesn't wear armour, but in my head I'm thinking, why not have like, on Minecraft you have the slots where your armour goes on there, just have 4 squares. Or just have 1 square, and maybe a shield square, saying what armour you've got on. This last box, features and traits, is in our features here. We have rage at level 1, we have unarmoured defence. It says here 2 rages, let's see what rage is. So just under our starting equipment, we can find rage. And my audio broke, so I've had to use the camcorder audio. Sorry. On your turn, you can enter a rage as a bonus action. You gain the following benefits if you aren't wearing heavy armour, which you technically shouldn't be. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, which you do, you gain a bonus to the damage roll that increases as you gain levels as a barbarian, as shown in the rage damage column of the barbarian table. This is not in line with your proficiency, just bear that in mind. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing and slashing damage. Just like your damage is slashing, you tell the DM if you're being attacked, you say, is it from bludgeoning, piercing or slashing? Okay, I'm resistant, I take half of that 10, it becomes a 5 damage. But if you've built a spellcaster, you can't cast spells while raging. Your rage lasts for 1 minute. It ends early if you're knocked unconscious or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taken damage since then. It evaporates, your rage evaporates basically after that minute. You can end the rage yourself as a bonus action. Once you've raged your 2 times, you must finish a long rest before you can rage again. An 8-hour rest. Unarmoured defence. While you are not wearing any armour, your armour class equals 10 plus your dex mod, and however, you're a barbarian, you can add your constitution as well. You can use a shield and still gain this benefit. Well, what do you know? I can add my con. My con is another +2. My AC is now 14. If I buy that sweet shield, my armour class just shot to 16. So the rage and unarmoured defence basically gets plugged into this long thing here. And just like that, we are done. So that is a playable barbarian tiefling we've created. Just a good old heavy hitter. On the back of this sheet is where to draw your character, backstory, allies and organisations, symbol thing, that's where you put your character. Treasures, additional features and traits, but most of the time we just photocopy the front and hand them out. So you might be like, oh, I'll put my thing, oh, there's nothing on the back. And next, as I said, I'll create a spellcaster because the spell sheet has a few extra steps. God, I hope that all made sense. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.